Hey Ray.
Hey Sonya, hey guys.
So, Gangsta.
Yes, Gangsta. Finally, the fans of the manga can rejoice. Gangsta, the anime, has landed and it is currently streaming week to week. The series revolves around two handymen who take on jobs for both the mob and the police force that no one else can handle. The two, named Nicholas Brown and Warwick Arcangelo, work in the town of Agastalum, which is full of mafia, hoodlums, prostitutes, and dirty cops. The three key characters are played by Hane Natsuki, Tsuda Kenjiro, and veteran Mamiko Noto. Seasoned director Shuko Murasi is at the helm, and crowd favourite Tsuchi is on the decks providing some funky tunes. So that's a little bit about the anime. We're going to go straight into it. Sonya, what did you think?
Okay, well, I actually really enjoyed this.
Yes?
I'm giving this one a buy.
Oh, okay.
I've only watched 2 episodes and
Wow.
I'm still giving it a buy.
Cool.
I find it's a really intriguing story. It's something that is steeped in naturalism and yet is really stylized, which I kind of like. Now this is R-rated, so
It is.
there's violence and there's sex and there's bad language.
Yep.
But none of it is overblown. And especially with the violence, which I really enjoyed. They're kind of short, sharp, quick little action scenes that then move quickly onto something else and then come back to the action and then move on to something else.
Yeah.
So it really helps to kind of push that story along, and you get enough kind of nasty to satisfy the need to see these characters really kind of do their handyman
But
jobs.
they're not really, you know, bathing in or glorifying
Glorifying
that
it, yeah.
violence, which is kind of nice. Yeah.
And it's often the way with, especially with R-rated anime, sometimes they just go that little bit too far. They just, you know, it's swathed in blood and gore and body parts and eyeballs popping, and it's like, I don't need to see that much.
Yeah.
And when Nico really starts going crazy,
Yep.
pretty awesome. And,
Yeah.
and you feel the impact of his fighting style, which I think is
Yeah.
really, really cool.
Yeah.
Which I really like. Now, there is one little niggle with this one, which is the female representation.
Okay.
There's not a lot of it.
No. Not yet.
Not yet. We
Yep.
don't know. Like I said, 2 episodes.
Yep.
Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah.
But the 2 main females, you've got Alex or Ali, who is a prostitute, and you have Nina, who is a child. They're not really pushing the boundaries there, but what I did like is both of these characters are actually really well fleshed out. They've got intriguing backstories. I don't know what's going on with either of these characters, but I am really keen to find out how Ali ended up being a prostitute for the mafia. And Nina, Nina's a kid who has seen a lot.
Yeah.
And she's probably overly affectionate with people who she shouldn't.
Yeah.
Her
Seems
connection
very comfortable in that
environment. And you know, you're talking about what, she's 12, 13 maybe. Really shouldn't be that comfortable hanging around the mafia and people who are slicing other people up with samurai swords. You know, you just shouldn't be like, yeah, cool, that's happening, great.
Yeah.
So I'm really keen to see how those 2 characters actually develop over the season. Ali is, they do say that she's an outsider. She's not from this world.
Yep.
So how on earth did she end up in this really violent, really, you know, not a great world to be in?
Yeah, I like that they are dropping clues along the way.
Yeah.
There's nothing overt, and yeah, it just keeps you wanting a little bit
keeps
more.
you
I thought the story is, you know, it's a nice sort of slow burn, and they're not just, you know, holding information off for the sake of it.
But there's also enough exposition in those first 2 episodes to make you really go, all right, they've created a really strong world.
Yeah.
And obviously anyone who's read the manga knows where this is going.
Yep.
They know that I haven't. So for me, it's a fantastic world to kind of get dropped into. And you really do kind of just get dropped into this world. Things are happening. And it's all a bit crazy. And why are they doing that? And what are dog tags? And who are Twilights? And why do those 2 kids really, really creepy with swords? And why is that happening? So, yeah, it's really, really cool. That's the thing. This is 2 episodes in. I love it. I can't wait to watch the rest.
Okay.
So, you know.
All right.
I'm excited.
Oh, awesome.
Are you excited, Ray?
I am excited. I was quite excited. I can't I want to see more of it, but I'm going to give it a borrow overall.
Okay.
It's almost a buy, but I'm just not sure whether it's going to, fall from here or stay the same. I really need it to pick up from here to really, get into that buy territory.
It is hard with only 2 episodes.
Yeah, it is, and it's hard because some of the characters are like, yeah, it's pretty cool, that's a good idea. Which, on that, actually, I'm really pleased with the kind of diversity of the characters in the world.
Absolutely.
Older characters, younger. Fans of the manga will know that there's gay characters to be introduced. There's lots of ethnic diversity as well. So Hispanic, Latino, black, white, Asian, doesn't matter, and that's kind of really interesting to this world as well. We're in this metropolis, although we haven't seen a lot of it. Might not be a metropolis actually. We'd just call it a smaller sort of city.
Yeah.
But there's a huge range of people who inhabit this city, and you get a sense that we're really just in a small suburb almost.
Yeah, exactly right.
It's really interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see what else is outside of that. At the moment, it's a lot of alleyways, and I heard comments or read comments, sorry, that it was a little bland in terms of its visual sort of effects. But I quite liked that softer palette. I was happy not to see all these vibrant anime sort of colors.
It's quite natural.
It is very natural, and that sort of gives an earthiness to it, more of a reality to it, and that's kind of I quite like that. Also, you mentioned the style as well, particularly in the violence and the action. It reminds me of, it's very 90s. I mean, I'm a big fan of that. Your Ninja Scroll kind of era. Maybe Fist of the North Star kind of stuff, just a little earlier. But it's sharper sort of angles and characters, and that stylized action feels very manga-like, and so it feels like it's animated in a very comic sense. They're not going for big fluid animations and amazing.
They're keeping it close to the panels.
Yeah, I think so too. Although I haven't read the manga myself, I think fans would be very pleased with that. In terms of sound, I didn't really like the intro. I thought it's very poppy.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's quite an odd intro for this.
Yeah, it doesn't. It just doesn't complement the story world that we go into, which is it's earthier, as I said. It's got more of a rhythm and blues kind of vibe to it, a bit of a swag swing, and the intro is very very poppy. That said, throughout the soundscape throughout it is awesome.
It's really well done.
It's quite funky. Except I thought it could have brought down a couple of notches. There was a few times I was sitting there listening to the music, and I thought, I don't really want to be hearing that so much right now. I just want to be sitting in this moment with these couple of characters, just living and breathing what they're going through right now. But yeah, look, it's a very interesting anime. I look forward to seeing where it goes.
Yeah, definitely.
So, well, that's what we thought, and we're very much looking forward to seeing what you think.